Yep, and you mentioned Slimy Boogermen partaking in the First Strike recently and having success with that. Speaking of First Strike, shout out to everyone who is joining us now from that stream. Hopefully we have a bunch of new faces in stream coming through from that finals that just ended. But getting ready to move in, we have Split, like you mentioned, Boogermen versus
Grapefruit Techniques.
Techniques.
Coming up here on Split, a bit of rope action in play here. We'll see how teams choose to navigate around Split here. It is a bit of a tricky situation to try to move through the middle area of the map, trying to get up onto the upper side of the B side as well. A little bit of interference with the aim coming through in the form of ropes. We'll see how these teams deal with that, deal with the verticality here of this A site. See which sides these teams have selected for themselves. Slimy Boogermen, I'd have to guess, if I'm speculating here a bit, I think would want to start out on attack here. I think they're feeling themselves heading into this event. They've had a lot of recent success. I think they just want to see how many rounds they can rack up early and then cruise to a comfortable second half there on defense.
Yeah, and we do have Split coming through, so that there is always that possibility of the Viper coming through in terms of agent select. We'll have to see if we get lucky in terms of that. But we'll have Pistol Round coming up here shortly. Looks like just a technical delay coming through, but sorry about that. And it looks like we do have, like you mentioned, Grapefruit Techniques on defense first. We'll have to see if they're able to make that early work happen on the defense side. It's really arguable on this map about what side is more favored.
Yeah, I think it's like bind in a lot of ways. It's pretty split on who excels on defense, who excels on attack. I don't think there's too much you can find, just because of part of it too is just how weirdly this map is set up in terms of how you have to move around it, how many elevation changes you have. Definitely makes things a little more difficult when you're approaching it strategically. Just those extra variables certainly even things up here on either side of the map. So we're getting everyone into the agent selection here. Everyone choosing their agent this time around, hopefully.
Hopefully. Looks like someone did not select an agent in the last select screen. But I was just about to mention how important this agent select here is on Split. That really... it can determine if your attack or your defense is going to be favored. You can really choose if you want to go for a more attack style composition, you want to go for the more defensive style coming through with the Cypher and the Killjoy and stuff like that, the more control favored agents. Like we mentioned, Vipers coming through a lot. We'll typically see those on the teams that are trying to play more around their defense. But it's also gotten really good since you can lay the wall pre-round, gotten really good on the offense too at faking where you're going to be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see which agents come through here. I'm actually, this is one of the maps historically that Killjoy has excelled on, but I really actually don't expect it to see it for both sides here. I think Killjoy's fallen really kind of out of favor here with the most recent updates to the game. So we'll see. We did see Inox opt for the Killjoy in the previous match over on Haven, but it didn't really play out, I think, the way that they are hoping it to. The lockdowns didn't really have big impact either in securing a site or in baiting a rotate away from a site.
Yeah, well,
either
unfortunately,
way.
the one that I can remember, it did get shut down off the back of that Hunter's Fury. They did have to blow the ultimate to cancel the ultimate. So definitely a trade coming through there, but we are into pistol round. Slimy Boogermen versus Grapefruit Techniques. Line up for Slimy Boogermen here. They have that Killjoy that you mentioned. They have the Raze, Reyna, Omen, and Breach.
Yeah, over on the side of Grapefruit Techniques, we have Foreplay on the Breach, Brew on the Omen, Zaboda picking up the Reyna, Pish on the Killjoy. And so, yeah, both teams opting for the Killjoy, and interestingly, both teams opting for a Raze as well. Grapefruit Techniques opting for the Viper. So we'll see how that plays off as Giovanni gets the action started with the Roomba onto Instinct. Well, she will be able to take down the Killjoy for Grapefruit Techniques, and Zaboda, though, gets some revenge onto Intox here.
Oh my goodness, Brew able to get the kill on to Anderson. Anderson trying to get that leap out, but nothing quite happening.
So a bloody first round leaves Grapefruit Techniques in tatters here. Slimy Boogermen deal with that handily. I actually think that we do have the side switch here. So that was Grapefruit Techniques actually taking a big opening round over the favored Slimy Boogermen.
Yes, unfortunately, sometimes it just happens and we flub things. So it's all good. Stuff happens. We do have the force buy coming out here for Grapefruit off the back of that first round win. So only losing PSH in that encounter.
So yeah, a big start here to the match for Grapefruit Techniques, especially really important to get that defense started off strongly where you risk falling to a big attack, but Dev shows he doesn't need the biggest of guns to get that kill onto Zabota, takes Zabota's head off with the Sheriff there, hunting for more. Grapefruit Techniques, despite the edge they have here, falter a bit to start off this second round.
Yeah, it is a 5v4 now for Slimy. They are moving around the map, and they are, it looks like they're trying to move over onto A. In terms of agents, do have that mirror matchup, except the Viper and Breach swap up. So more blinds coming through for Grapefruit, but we do have all of that lovely Viper utility on the side of Slimy.
Yeah, that's going to set up well here for the execute of Slimy Boogerman. Here it comes, less than 45 seconds remaining. Grapefruit Techniques hold strong push, able to get 2 kills before going down. Brew gets 1 before getting traded out, and that leaves the defenders here in a 2v2 in a round where they were favored.
30 seconds left.
Slimy Boogerman could snatch this one away, but this spike plant is going to be so difficult for Intox to get here as time is ticking away. Does have the support there of his teammate behind him, Brew, or excuse me, Anderson rather. On the backside of that site, here comes the aftershock from Foreplay, pushing forward. Doesn't find any damage, but here comes the push from Grapefruit Techniques.
Oh, and you saw the shots go right by his head as he was planning there. Giovanni 1v1, able to get both kills there. Big round going over to Grapefruit Techniques.
Yeah, really important round there for Grapefruit Techniques to secure. We'll see how things shape up for Slimy Boogerman economically, because you can see actually, I think they did opt for a bit of upgrades there in that previous round, and that will leave Intox with the light armor rather than the full, but full rifles coming out for the Slimy Boogerman. Grapefruit Techniques, 2 SMGs and a Vandal here. Zabota and Foreplay, despite the winning rounds, in a bit of a tricky situation economically.
Yeah, they did lose their SMGs there in that last round, so don't have anything to carry through. We'll have to purchase up for that, but this is a really important round here for Slimy Boogerman. We saw 300, 300, 100, 100, 100. Things are going to be looking so bad economically for them if they're not able to take a W here. But Grapefruit Techniques so far have done an excellent job of playing to the defense of this map.
Yeah, they've got themselves, Grapefruit Techniques, got themselves really slotted back in the corners of these sites, not pushing aggressively into any of the quarters. They are ready to receive the push here from Slimy Boogerman, and it's going to be the Boogermen that have to force the issue here. But Zabota, looking for a flank, but that smoke will delay any plans he has. Slimy Boogermen inch their way forward, trying to make some ground up here. They actually have to back away from mid. Grapefruit Techniques won't give anything away to them early. Brew ready to stop the push, wins the trade over Intox, but Anderson follows up after that big damage onto Brew from Intox. So
30 seconds
main
left.
level footed, but not for long. Giovanni finds a cheeky kill that's going to give him the showstopper. Won't be able to find the kill with it and goes down to Instinct there. Still level footing until Instinct finds the angle there on Zabota. Welshi wraps up the kill onto Foreplay. Slimy Boogerman with a big edge here, 3-1 with the spike down. This may be the perfect opportunity to get themselves on the board.
Yeah, PSH definitely can contest here. Slimy Boogerman really need to make sure they keep as many members alive as possible. And here we go. Instinct taking down PSH. That'll be the first round going over to Slimy, and a super important win there. They keep 3 members alive, so that means they'll keep 3 rifles. And I think we might have a pistol round coming through here for Grapefruit.
Yeah, despite Giovanni having a weirdly high amount of money, this is an awkward situation for Grapefruit Techniques. Zabota, though, picks up the Vandal.
Yeah, that's an aggressive purchase there, friend.
There's some hesitation in the rest of the team to follow up with that kind of commitment, but Giovanni does regardless, picks up a Phantom. So
it's even wilder to play a Phantom with no shield, or play a rifle with no shield in general. I feel like it might have been a little bit more beneficial to go for just an SMG and a full shield if you're just going to partial save.
Yeah, we'll see how this half buy works out for Grapefruit Techniques, or they risk letting the Slimy Boogermen tie this one up here in the first half. Foreplay set up, ready to greet the push, and here it comes. A great Leer coming out for Slimy Boogermen.
Oh my goodness.
As well as a great Nanoswarm grenade. Gets Foreplay knocked out of position. Tries to follow up with a fault line, but on the opposite side, Welshi gets the action started, sprays down Brew, and now Grapefruit Techniques have to scramble a bit here. They don't know where to address the problems. Don't know where to turn their focus here. Slimy Boogermen haven't forced a sight quite yet.
Foreplay still so low off the back of that Nanoswarm grenade. Beautiful grenade. Another one flying out.
30 seconds left.
And here we go. Foreplay going to be in a difficult position here in just a second. A bunch of members moving in, throwing out the fault line, dashing out. 13 HP, so low. Will fall to Instinct. Spike going down, but there we go. Beautiful Nanoswarm.
Big Nanoswarm there to blaze the plant coming out for the Slimy Boogermen, but it's not quite enough. Slimy Boogermen, by the skin of their health bars, they're taken really low. Keep 4 members alive, tie it up 2-2 up against Grapefruit Techniques. Grapefruit Techniques started off really strongly, stormed out of the gates, but Slimy Boogermen have snatched the momentum back.
And Grapefruit really forcing up here. Don't even have enough money for full shields for Zabota or Foreplay. That's really unfortunate, but another one of these must-win rounds coming through, but this time on the side of Grapefruit. Fault line to start things off. Instinct, no ADS for you for a few seconds, buddy.
Didn't end up mattering too much, and Instinct isn't afraid, hasn't backed off quite yet, but he's got quite a lot of support there.
Oh, man.
The firing squad turns, but unable to find the kill onto Foreplay. Backs away safely, albeit with a bit of health missing.
Poor Foreplay is just always finding himself in these positions where he's checking 4 people and just getting chunked for it.
But he's managed to survive rather well through it and finds the kill onto Welshi. An excellently timed peak flash and kill there from Foreplay.
Yeah, beautiful use of the breach. Typically you don't see breaches following up on their own flashes, but that was great.
Got the job done,
Brew.
and that may deliver a kill to Brew as well. Oh, Anderson knows he's playing a dangerous game. Oh, and picks the absolute time, but doesn't look the absolute right way. Loses out on the Omen duel. So Slimy Boogermen, they've tried to edge away into this round, but have fallen all across the map. Brew picks up the 2K, Foreplay picks up the 2K, leaving just Intox remaining. Intox gets the kill onto Foreplay, goes away. Oh, and picks up the double as well. Intox trying to play hero in the 5th round, but Time and Zabota are working against him. Grapefruit Techniques, they dropped 2, but they won't drop any more for now.
Yeah, and these teams are really coming through clutch on these must-win rounds. Like we have said, the economy is so dire for some of these teams at some points, and now 3 ultimates available on the side of Grapefruit Techniques, 4 on the side of Boogermen. Thankfully, they had enough money in their pockets. They will be able to force up for this round, but Instinct sitting at 0 now.
Slimy Boogermen. I mean, I will say this is quite similar to what we saw in the last match, where there was a do or die round kind of early on in the first half. and winning that round proved to be the key for victory there. So we'll see if that remains to be the case here in the 6th round. Slimy Boogermen up against Grapefruit Techniques.
Zaboda about to find themselves a bunch of members here. 3 members hanging out in the mid. Oh, Zaboda pushing out, has a bunch of members shooting at him now. Look how low that killjoy is. Oh my goodness, but Anderson picking himself up 2 big kills, and now Boogermen have the advantage. But 2 of their members are so low health.
Oh, the traded satchels there, but Giovanni wins out in the end, gets the kill onto Dev as he flies past his counterpart. Welshi gets a big kill onto Brew. PSH staying alive there, trades out Welshi, but only Giovanni remaining as his teammate. This lockdown will be tough for them to capitalize off of.
I love the oh man, I love the double raise satchels like passing each other like ships in the night, passing each other through the through the smokes.
Flying past each other in a fireworks fashion. PSH almost pulling out the clutch there, but gets caught looking the wrong way. Intox takes him down, and Slimy Boogermen snatch Grapefruit Techniques right back. Tie this one up once more. Geez, all these games we've seen today, it's really been tough to find a margin to split these teams by.
Yeah, this is looking like one of the closer matches we've had today. 3-3 so far. 3 ultimates on each side. And I mean, even look at the scoreboard. The scoreboard in terms of kills per member, it's exactly the same pretty much. Like,
yeah, mirror matchup almost in terms of picks, almost in terms of leaderboard. Just slight differences between the 2.
Yeah, Grapefruit really forcing up for that ultimate point, and really lucky that Slimy wasn't there to punish them for it. They blew a lot of resources just for that ultimate point, though. Well, she able to get the kill before he falls to PSH, but here we go. Rolling Thunder moving in onto A. Anderson takes a lot of damage. Oh, falls on a Nano Swarm grenade. Falls on the turret. Takes so much damage. PSH able to get one before he falls. Dev gets that nice kill. Instinct popping off here. Boogermen with the advantage.
Explosive round there for the Slimy Boogermen. Give them the edge. We'll give them the spike plant here. It's Grapefruit Techniques left in a 2v3 to try to retake this. Zaboda does have the Vandal, but he doesn't have any armor. Has the Empress. This may be time to pop it. We'll see if he can work his way into sight beforehand. Health bars for the Slimy Boogermen are looking a little weaker than their counterparts. Zaboda taking his time with the approach here, but time is working against him as Giovanni starts to run forward. Zaboda evens the tides, takes it down Dev, and Giovanni snuck his way onto site, almost gets the defuse to halfway there, but the push from Zaboda won't follow through. Slimy Boogermen, through a dicey situation, hold strong and take the lead here for the first time in this match.
Yeah, we're kind of in a pattern right now of everyone taking 2 rounds and the other person taking 2 rounds. So we'll have to see if Slimy Boogermen can continually add onto this lead, keep that momentum moving. Giovanni with the judge. Here we go. Haven't had any shotgun play while I've been on stream so far, so I am very excited for this one.
Yeah, you missed it. We had some Buckies earlier.
I was about to say, I don't know if you saw earlier. I don't know if they made it on stream. We had the Bucky boys in
DSS
this week.
we had the Bucky boys on stream.
That's how we have to do it.
They performed exceptionally well.
They always do.
They never disappoint, do the Bucky boys.
They never disappoint me.
And they keep that streak alive. Slimy Boogermen. They need to avoid that judge, rather, on the side of Grapefruit Techniques, but it hasn't come into play quite yet. Grapefruit Techniques not in position to slow this push down as the Viper's Pit now spills out onto B site. Gets that much harder for Grapefruit Techniques to try and retake this, but Foreplay will find big damage onto Intex before going down. Intox has the Empress running here, but Giovanni gets the kill with a judge before going down to Welshi. Intox gets the kill on a Brew, leaving just PSH remaining here, as well as Zaboda. Zaboda keeping his team's chances in this round alive.
Yeah, but as soon as they step into that smoke, things are not going to be looking good for them. Intox picks himself up a 3rd K. Dev grabs the last one, and Boogermen starting to look very good.
Perfect ult combinations there from the Slimy Boogermen. The Empress there of Intox was allowed to roam free in that Viper's Pit set up by Welshie. Just a really dangerous combo along with the lockout there for the Slimy Boogermen. Delivered them that round. Grapefruit Techniques. We do see the Bucky come out.
There we go.
We'll see if that brings the shift in tides that they need.
Yeah, Boogermen did a great job. Like we mentioned, the difference between the Breach and the Viper, we saw the Rolling Thunder come through in the round before that last round, and didn't have nearly the same impact as that Viper's Pit did.
Slimy Boogermen already pushed up rather far here on the A side.
Yep, 2 ultimates available here on the side of Grapefruit Techniques, and Zabota about to find a couple members. Just has the Sheriff, though. Oh, Anderson, beautiful headshot onto him. Will take out Zabota. 5v4 now in favor of Boogermen.
They still don't press the issue here, though. Despite the edge, they know the defense from Grapefruit Techniques. They have their positions set up. They don't want to play right into their traps. See if this execute comes out here soon. It will. Bolstered by the Viper's wall here. Instinct pushes forward. Won't find any defenders. They've slunk away into the back corridors of A site. They won't be able to challenge this push here as the spike goes down. The rotate coming in rather slow here for the remaining members of Grapefruit Techniques. So the retake a bit delayed here. Foreplay tries to find someone who may be lurking around the corner. Not rewarded this time around. And Giovanni with a tough job of trying to push through the smoke here. Trying to find a blind shot. Does find a bit of damage now. Satchels his way forward. Peeks around the corner, finds one.
Goodness.
DSH able to follow up, and here comes Foreplay as well. They're taking down the members of Slimy Boogermen, so that there are only 2 remaining. Intox stops the defuse, goes away, but Brew takes down Anderson, but there's no time remaining here for the defenders. Oh, but the defuse almost came through, but Intox came through clutch. Picks up the triple kill, and Slimy Boogermen take the largest lead of the match so far.
Yeah, Slimy did such a good job of playing to time there. Even if they did fall to the last remaining members of Grapefruit Techniques, I don't think there was defuse time. Just a beautiful push coming through for Slimy Boogermen. We saw Giovanni absolutely trying to clutch things out, but only able to find 1 kill. Did buy a ton of time for his team, though. Made Slimy Boogermen question a lot about what was going on. Oh no, it feels bad.
Maybe it was all calculated, you know? It's a future play.
Dude, it's 2000 IQ.
Anderson, though, doesn't care about the 2000 IQ on the side of Grapefruit Techniques. Picks up a kill, but Brew finds some revenge on the other side of map. Instinct, though, takes down PSH, and Grapefruit Techniques having a hard time standing up to the pressure here of the Slimy Boogermen. The Slimy Boogermen now able to move about the map a bit more freely. Giovanni almost catches the peak there. Here comes the showstopper for redemption, and he blows up Anderson. So takes down one of the attackers, but still forced to hide away in this back corridor. That's going to let Slimy Boogermen spill out onto site, get themselves set up here in this 3v3.
Spike planted.
Yeah, he did take a nice chunk of damage from his own showstopper there, so we'll have to keep that in mind as they get ready to move in. But here we go, 3v3. Oh, 2v1. Beautiful execution coming through for Slimy Boogermen. I say 3v3 and everyone immediately gone from Grapefruit.
Wow, Slimy Boogermen now starting to rack up quite a lead here. They've taken 5 rounds in a row, and Grapefruit Techniques don't have a healthy bankroll to show for this long trek of time. Their buys looking awkwardly cobbled together here at this point. Slimy Boogermen, we said early on that one of the, it was literally around like round 5 or 6, the same point that we saw in the previous match where things kind of turned. Slimy Boogermen have seized that opportunity. They're starting to build up this lead. Grapefruit Techniques need to cleverly find a thrifty win here.
Oh man,
that's not going to help.
Yeah, standing in that cloud just lowers your HP for about 5 seconds after that. So in a really rough position. Foreplay gets chunked, but Rocket is available. Showstopper. Oh my goodness, he got PSH with it.
Wow, Instinct gets the kill, opens the door for Welshie to put the punish onto Zaboda. Giovanni trying to play hero here, picks up the Vandal off of that kill onto Anderson. But he is in a 1v3 with low HP up against some stacked members of the Slimy Boogermen. They are all ready to greet him here with the spike put down, and the flank is coming in from Welshie. Giovanni has got to play this one perfectly. Can't get it done. Dev takes him down, and Slimy Boogermen starting to run away with this one as we move into the last round of the half.
Yeah, they have bunch of ultimates available on the side of, sorry, just 2 ultimates available on each side. Don't think we'll see that teleport get used most likely, but maybe some tricky plays coming through from Slimy Boogermen. But you kind of called it in the early game, Dilly. We see Slimy Boogermen just racking up as many points on this attack as they can, and they are absolutely running away with the game at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is what gave Depth Esports the win over Big Frames, is they just secured that crucial like 5 or 6 rounds, and that was the pivoting point where they just decimated the economy of Big Frames. Slimy Boogermen with a similar effect here on Grapefruit Techniques as Foreplay escapes by the thinnest of margins. Slimy Boogermen, they've stacked up an absolute massive lead here in Grapefruit Techniques. Every round is so crucial for them now in this best of 1. They want to move on. They've got to get a big play from Brew, and Brew provides. Brew picks up the double kill there towards a ramp. Could his team capitalize here now with equal footing? Slimy Boogermen trying to gather the intel they need to move forward, but meanwhile, Grapefruit Techniques pushing in from multiple angles here. Zaboda with a big kill onto Dev, with a big double kill onto Instinct, and it's all falling apart for the Slimy Boogermen here in the last round of the first half.
And a beautiful use of the invulnerability to avoid getting hit by his own teammates' Rolling Thunder. I don't know if you saw that. Beautiful use. I've never seen that before. I love that.
Excellent combination coming out from Grapefruit Techniques to get them that essential 4th round. But they've still got quite a bit of work to do here. Slimy Boogermen with a sizable lead, but Grapefruit Techniques with possibly their best opportunity left. Turn the tide here on this equal pistol round.
Look at the KDA there for Intox. 12, 5, and 5. Absolutely popping off here on this Reyna. It's one of those feast or famine champions, and he is definitely feasting.
Intox is very well fed here, as you said, looking very strong. Very much MVP material coming out from Intox here.
We actually see 5 light shields on the side of Slimy Boogermen here, and I actually really like that. That's so much extra HP at this point of the game, especially in pistol round. Most of the time you don't see any light armor coming through. You typically see people go for the ghosts or go for their utility.
Slimy Boogermen are well armored, I should say. They are going to be difficult to get through, but Welshie exposes himself a bit, and Giovanni takes advantage, shoots him in the head, takes him out. Instinct, unable to find any revenge, gets taken out by Zaboda, but Zaboda recklessly goes forward, gets taken out by Intox. Anderson, though, eliminating the threats here around him. Is what looked to be a solid push from Grapefruit Techniques has left 2 big Boogermen to get in on the retake, and Intox and Dev have absolutely popped off, leaving just Giovanni, but Giovanni has the angle, but it's not enough. Dev clutches it out in the 1v1. Slimy Boogermen snatch the opportunity away from Grapefruit Techniques.
Yeah, and Dev's Killjoy turret absolutely coming in clutch there, providing the intel on where that raise was, and it probably won that 1v1 for him.
Very, very possible there. Slimy Boogermen expertly playing around that really rather precarious situation. It was so close. There was not very much to separate the teams by. Still, Slimy Boogermen able to find the edge there. They've put together a solid buy here for a second round. Bucky in the hands of Dev, looking to put up a staunch defense as Grapefruit Techniques don't spend any for armor, just a couple of Sheriffs and a Frenzy. No force buy coming out for them, despite how big the lead is here from the Slimy Boogermen.
Looks like a big push coming through here for Grapefruit. Oh my God! What was that? That's going in a Slimy highlight reel.
That was the best paint shells I've ever seen. Instinct with the absolute read on Grapefruit Techniques. Grapefruit Techniques tried to be a little clever with this satchel, pushing Giovanni and Zabota forward, but they pushed them forward right into the jaws of Instinct. Instinct with the best paint shells. A triple kill coming in for Instinct off the paint shells.
That's why you don't group.
Not against a raise.
And Slimy Boogermen ended that round in like 4 seconds, so they didn't even have to buy. They didn't take shield damage. They're just going to use the shotgun again. They're going to use the SMGs again.
Slimy Boogermen confidently get themselves onto double digits here. They've got a lot of rounds to work with here.
And as much of a confidence boost as it has to be for Slimy Boogermen, it's got to be absolutely demoralizing for Grapefruit.
That is a round to forget for Grapefruit Techniques. They certainly need to forget about that one if they want any hope.
I don't know if that's 4 seconds you're going to be able to forget, Dylan.
You've got to repress it for now, do Grapefruit Techniques, but they got themselves on the right foot here with that early kill into Welshie, but Anderson takes out Brew, Anderson takes out Giovanni, and that's going to be the spike for Anderson as well. Gets himself a Phantom, almost gets himself another kill, but Foreplay remains firm, takes down Anderson, but it's going to be Intox who wins out over PSH on the opposite side there, and Dev so sneaky with the Bucky. Oh, but he can't find the shots, but Intox can find the shots. Sprays down Zabota, leaving just Foreplay remaining for Grapefruit Techniques.
30 seconds left.
Instinct just hanging out, waiting for him. Doesn't even take shield damage. We'll get to keep that one for next round, and things are starting to look very good for Slimy Boogermen. Starting to see why they were such a strong contender for their first strike performance, and Intox looking so good on this Reyna.
Yeah, Intox having a massive game. As you said, it's a feast or famine character. Intox very healthily fed here. Very big belly there. Yeah, Intox looking very buff.
They should, we'll joke about it later. We're moving into a round here where it looks like Grapefruit does have to econ.
Yeah, difficult position for Grapefruit Techniques. They can't give away any more rounds, but they've still have to manage their economy. Slimy Boogermen with the firepower edge, making it that much more difficult. Brew trying to find a pick here, gets damage onto Anderson. Close to finding a kill, but Anderson won't give him the chance. Here comes the push from Grapefruit Techniques. The Bucky with Giovanni pushing forward, but he gets spotted out by the Killjoy turret. Has to back away from his position. His teammates take it out for him, allow him to step back up onto that box. And Grapefruit Techniques, they knew they had to be a bit clever to make this one work. A bit of an unorthodox approach here.
Oh, Instinct is definitely about to get rewarded here. I think the problem for Grapefruit on this attack is they just aren't pulling the trigger onto anything. They finally find the kill onto Dev. First Blood finally going over an advantage onto Grapefruit Techniques, but oh man, Foreplay is so low. Oh, they finally take down Intox.
Wow, Grapefruit Techniques adjusting their rhythm to the Slimy Boogermen. Instinct will finally get a kill onto Zabota, but the Grapefruit Techniques able to get the spike planted down onto A site, set themselves up. Slimy Boogermen, they want this match point. They're going to have to take it away from Grapefruit Techniques. And here comes the retake. PSH, though, lurking in the smoke, finds a big kill onto Instinct, but his teammates going down around him. Welshie finds a massive double kill there and gets his Slimy Boogermen onto match point in a big way. Grapefruit Techniques now with the daunting task of chaining together 8 rounds in a row. They want any chance of moving on to top 8.
Yeah, they definitely have a a mountain ahead of them if you're
Match
Grapefruit
point.
Techniques, but Boogermen have 4 ultimates available, everything but that lockout. They've got to be feeling good. It looks like Welshie is just not going to let them come on to A this time.
Yeah. Will be, I think, all of the ults coming out from Slimy
He might
Boogermen.
just ult mid. There's been such mid contest here from Grapefruit that if he just shuts down mid, oh man. And I'm really excited to see what he does with this ultimate. My favorite Vipers that I've seen use the ultimate barely spend any time in it at all. They're moving in and out of it just to like make sure it doesn't disappear, but actually just hanging out outside of it.
See how Welshie goes about his business. Grapefruit Techniques have wasted no time pushing forward, and Welshie capitalizes. Gets a big kill onto the weakened Zaboda, and that's going to open the door for Instinct. Pop off the Showstopper, but it won't find a kill there. But Slimy Boogermen already putting Grapefruit Techniques on the back foot. Here comes the Rolling Thunder from Grapefruit Techniques to ride even the tide, and they make big plays off of it. Giovanni and PSH get Slimy Boogermen knocked down into a 3v4 here. Grapefruit Techniques able to move about the map much more freely as they set themselves up for a B-site play. And Slimy Boogermen actually pull off it really completely.
Yeah, that was a beautiful ultimate coming through for foreplay. Really set up his teammate there. Brew able to get the kill onto Instinct, and multiple ultimates getting popped here, and Slimy Boogerman going to be in a 2v4.
Spike planted.
Yeah, I think for Slimy Boogermen, despite all of the ult usage they had in this round, well, I think they can't. I think they have to concede this one.
Yeah, they don't really need to fight for this one.
They also still have Anderson's ult available for a future round, and Dev with Odin as well. So Slimy Boogermen by no means in a difficult position, but that was their chance here to close it out. But the good news is that they got 7 more.
Yeah, won't be able to pull off the perfect second half, but gonna keep that Odin in the hands of Dev there. And 3 ultimates now available on the side of Grapefruit Techniques. They have that Showstopper, they have the Empress, they have the teleport coming through from the Omen. We'll have to see if they can make some creative use of these abilities.
Yeah, it's definitely time for Grapefruit Techniques to really ratchet up the pressure here on the attacking side. They need to seize their opportunity. Slimy Boogermen, though, with big banks, able to get big buys as well. It's going to take a lot for Grapefruit Techniques to destabilize them. This 5-man stack from Grapefruit Techniques may play right into the Slimy Boogermen's clutches. Have to be perfectly executed here. Taking their time on these angles. They don't want to be spotted out, sending out the flash. This could turn into a mid play here for Grapefruit Techniques. They're not rushing forward. Definitely can tell the stakes are high here for them. Giovanni gets stopped a bit there, forced forward with the ult. It's gonna go down to Dev, gonna go down to Anderson, picks up the double kill, and Dev is set up with his Odin, but can't find 2 kills. So the kills go back and forth, but it will be Slimy Boogermen who find the edge. Oh, but can they keep it as foreplay finds damage onto Welshie, trying to hunt him down as PSH.
Oh, PSH almost took damage from his own team's Aftershock, but here we go. 2v2 now. Oh my goodness, 1v2, just Instinct alive.
Wow, this duo from Grapefruit Techniques may have been enough to keep them in it in the 2v3. They bring it down to a 2v1. Instinct's gonna have to get a clutch here. Secure this one for his team. Definitely still a lot of money for Grapefruit Techniques to play with, so Instinct not even considering the save here. Wants to go for it, wants to go for the win. Foreplay. Gonna play off of this turret coming out from PSH. See if they have any flashes, but it doesn't matter. Foreplay secures the triple kill for himself. Grapefruit Techniques make it 2 in a row. Try and stave off the Slimy Boogermen.
Yeah, thankfully we do have the lockout available now for Dev. Anderson also has that teleport available, but economically, not even going to be a full buy coming through here for Slimy Boogermen. Only a light shield coming through for Instinct. SMG on Dev. Sheriff on Anderson there. Oh, man. Things not looking super good for this round for Slimy Boogermen.
I almost wonder why they opted to force buy here. I mean, it's maybe just save. I mean, you have still 6 rounds to give away.
Yeah, you might as well just save across the board.
And with a force buy like this, they risk further destabilizing their economy. Grapefruit Techniques with a clear advantage in everything except score as of right now. Alarmbot will spot them out. See if Slimy Boogermen play off that intel.
Yeah, Zabota does have his ultimate available. Would give him a huge boost of stats, but here we go. Anderson gets the intel off the back of Giovanni there, but okay, they know people are moving into mid. Throwing the paranoia out, throwing the shadows out. Here we go. A bunch of members getting ready to move in. Grapefruit Techniques and Slimy Boogermen still both 5 members alive on each.
Grapefruit Techniques certainly took their time here. They know what's at stake, but it pays off for them. They get the spike down. The lockdown goes down as well. And Slimy Boogerman in a really tricky position, albeit with a force buy, but PSH doesn't care, gets one. Will get taken out by Dev. Slimy Boogerman trying to force the issue here. Intox and Dev combined with Welshie absolutely slaughter Grapefruit Techniques, and now it's just Brew remaining in a 1v2 as the defuse goes through. Dev holds it down.
Dev with that force diffuse. Brew did such a good job there, but unfortunately just the place he was standing in, even if it was just him and the Killjoy, I don't know if he would have gotten over there in time.
I did not expect the game to end there. Like, we had been on, 12 for the Slimy Boogerman for a fair amount of time, but I certainly did not expect it to go down like that. Dev holds strong, holds 4 really, really well, wins out the game for Slimy Boogerman.
Always force the defuse.
Pros don't fake.
Always force the defuse.
Well, we've seen that go wrong a couple times with Hunter's Fury. If Hunter's Fury is flying in at your face, then maybe let go. But yeah,
eat that for breakfast.
We'll see how that advice pays off. But this game paying off for Intox in a big way, picks up the MVP. Maybe not one of the highest KDAs we've seen in the MVP position, but certainly one of the most impactful players we've seen in the MVP position. Intox had some absolutely massive rounds for the Slimy Boogermen, giving them their ticket into the top 8. These are your reigning champions seeking that back-to-back title. See if they can get it done.
3 members of Slimy Boogermen with 17 kills. That's nutty.
That is actually really crazy. I didn't realize it was so close. I mean, that really goes to show exactly why Intox's KDA may not be as high as some other MVP winners, is because literally his team was getting more shares of the kills. Intox just edged it out there over the rest of his teammates for that MVP award. So a massive performance from Slimy Boogerman ensures their spot into the top 8. Grapefruit Techniques fought really, really well, and I really hope to see them back next week. But as for us, we are going to be moving into top 8 ourselves. We're going to be taking a quick break, and we'll be right back with top 8. Definitely stick around. You don't want to miss it.